Morning, everyone. Simon Holden, the Sheriff of Tippingham, here on this Sunday morning. It's just coming up to 11:20 a.m. It is the 27th of February, and folks, Cheltenham starts a fortnight on Tuesday. If that doesn't get the punting juices that are flowing, then I don't know what will. I'm going to take a bit of time this morning, not loads. It's your Sunday, I know that. Just have a little chat, bring you up to date on a few things in HFC land. And I do have a selection in what I think is probably the most interesting race of the day, certainly in terms of the festival. But it would be remiss not to start with a huge congratulations to our friend, the judge, who, well, did me up like the proverbial kipper yesterday with two big winning bets and a big well done to Julian, all the gang at Goodwin Racing, Chris Gordon, the incredible Tom Cannon, who won the Dovecot with Acun Risk. And anybody watching it, I mean, I said he was a company man, the judge, but he made a very cogent case for that horse, and it did the business in style. But he wasn't finished there. He also had the winner of the big race with Cap du Nord. There's plenty of 7-1 and bigger around on Friday night when that broadcast went out. So two big winners from his three selections. I had a late non-jigger, I'm afraid, and one that may as well have been a non-jigger. But I do think that the horse I gave 5-star Getaway, very interesting, travelled almost too well in the first circuit at Kempton. I think dropped down to 2 mile 5. There's a big race in that for Christian Williams. So, of course, I picked the Christian Williams horse that didn't win on when everything else virtually did. So big, what a day for that yard, winning the Ida, winning the Kempton, I think in the space of half an hour. So big up to Christian Williams, who looks to me like he should be sort of the guitarist for some indie band, but he is some trainer. So superb effort from the judge. And without giving too much detail away, the judge will be playing a more prominent role in the HFC club going forward. So stand by your beds for that. And he certainly is. We have a lot of fun doing that show on the Friday. But, excuse me, he certainly is one of the best judges I have ever been involved with, and he does the nickname well. So exciting times for him and HFC club on the way. So more about that. Now, I set an Irish racing service up a while ago, not that long ago. And in the tipping industry, setting an Irish racing service up is one of the things that when you tell, if you go to tipster conferences and say what you're about to do, many of them will like wince, grab an oxygen mask, say, are you insane? Say, I already thought you were insane. You've just proved it. Whatever. Just to give you an idea of what industry types. But I felt that after sort of 30 years of watching Irish racing and betting on it, that I had a fairly good handle on it. I wanted to try some systems out in Ireland, but I knew I needed help. So we got somebody involved, and it was clear from the early conversations that neither side was going to have to push. We were going to work together, whatever. And, well, the results have been absolutely blinding. And I stand here now and tell you quite simply that HFC Ireland is just an incredibly successful service. Friday night, we gave out a lucky 15 at Dundalk. Now, Dundalk is known as a punter's graveyard. We had a 28-1 third star days, and then we gave a 40-1 winner. Okay, 40-1. Just incredible. We moved on to Fairyhouse yesterday. Now, many tipsters will get a 40-1 shot if they're lucky, one every decade. Many punters will never back 40-1 winners. We went to Fairyhouse yesterday with 3 selections. I gave a maximum bet for a horse called Escataria 10, which I don't know if you saw that race, but got beaten in a photograph. I was convinced that there was huge improvement in that, and I was proved right, but we just got caught on the line. I think the horse should have been further clear, to be honest, but that was one of those things. But it was well backed in, and we got the early morning price. I'm quite happy with the bet. We then put, and I have to hand over to my Irish man, the 308 race looked an incredibly difficult handicap, and it was on the surface. We gave a horse called Carrig Sam at 10-1 yesterday morning. 5 places. The guy was convinced that he had really good info on this. To say it was a race that a lot of people would have shied away from. Well, let's bear in mind that the people had already had a 28-1 third and a 40-1 winner hours before, and we're still coming to terms with that and watching the old balance rocket. Carrig Sam was basically one of the biggest gambles I've seen for a long time. The horse went off at 3-1 and made all for veteran trainer Arthur Martin. Now, this is outstanding info. So 10-1 into 3s on the back of a 40-1 winner. And this is why I say HFC Ireland. When I look back at when we set it up, the scope was to build it, all-weather Dundalk, big jumps meetings, and then kick on in the flat. And to put some foundations down. Well, anybody who is involved in it, firstly, give me the thumbs up. I'll give you the thumbs up for coming on that HFC Irish journey with us all. And yesterday was further proof that this is something you need to be involved in. Now, what we're going to do, you have to now be in the HFC club. So my message to you, if you're not involved in the Irish Racing Service and you're not in the HFC club, is to get signed up. It's free on this Sunday morning. And we will then contact you about HFC Ireland this week, because we're pretty close to closing those doors, but we haven't yet. HFC Club is about one thing. It's about me bringing my experience, bringing key people in around me, either at management level, so that everything is sorted. You can buy with confidence. I want it to be the premium brand in terms of that moving forward in terms of a racing club and syndication of horses. I want you on that journey, as many of you want to be as possible, in terms of offering you the best services and the best content I can get on this channel. There's always going to be other people in this business. That's fine. I have no bother about that. I wish everybody well who tries this. I genuinely do, because this game will tame lions. And I've had losing runs, but one thing I always say to you on here is I always come roaring back, because if I look at a card, I give the bets. And that's what I tell anybody who works for me now. You give the best bets if you're on a 10 winning streak or a 10 losing streak. I don't care. I care about what you're going to do today and what you're going to do tomorrow. So that's always my guarantee for you, and anybody that I bring in must only be to strengthen. So if you see me with a new face, if you see a new service, you have to believe that I think this will strengthen this club. I'm not interested in weakening this club. I'm interested in strengthening it. So it's been an incredible few days, but we ain't sitting on our laurels. We're building. We've got Cheltenham coming up. I'm going to do another pre-Cheltenham show on Tuesday. If you're not in my Cheltenham service, you can find links for it in the video vault. Get yourself in. We've got a Cheltenham Telegram group. I'm going to be interacting all the time during the week and the days before. Was it having a chat with a professional gambler I know last night? Actually, we had a chat about the boxing, which was the worst result I have ever seen in my life, but don't get me on about that. And is why I'm very reticent to give out boxing tips after the shocker and disgrace we witnessed. But then the question went on to Cheltenham, and he made a very good point to me that you know, in terms of anti-post, we've got 5 big selections in. 3 have over-halved in price. That's the key as to whether they were sound bets or not. The races haven't run. But for now, I am minded to hang on till the week. And I'll tell you why. And the guy made some very good points to me. Once we get to the week, every bookmaker is going to want our business. Even the ones that 51 and a half weeks of the year don't want the business. They are going to want Cheltenham. The shops will take decent cash bets. Never forget your old betting shop during Cheltenham week. They will lift all sorts of restrictions and allow you to get a few quid on. Then we come to the actual day. We've got the on-course guys that are paying a fortune to bet there. They are going to want to lay bets. And to do that, they're going to have to go after favourites, or they're going to have to go after second, third, and fourth favourites. And that could be good for us in terms of SPs and in terms of prices on the week. So I am minded to stick with what we've got, because I believe that the prices might be more generous on the day, but you have to trust in that. But here's one caveat. If I get some strong Cheltenham information for a big price handicap horse, of course we will go in again. Okay. But in terms of those bets at the top, I am minded to stick with the 5 we've got. Now, if you're not in the Cheltenham service and you do join it, then you will be sent those, so you'll be on. So yeah, that's the Cheltenham update. But on Tuesday, we'll look at some other angles and I will tie things up. And then I'm going to do a couple of interviews with people. There won't be interviews about the day themselves of giving loads of tips. What there will be is focusing on an individual race. Like I'm going to do an interview with somebody about the Gold Cup, Champion Chase. You get it. And they should be very, very interesting. So keep it here on Holden's Horses. And there should be some Cheltenham nuggets coming your way. But I want a real Holden's Horses army marching on Prestbury Park in that special. So if you're not in it, get in it. If you're not in HFC Club, you know, I give free content every day. So try and make it an entertaining and profitable email. And we'll give you all sorts of discounts and offers on services there. And when we do start a racing club, it will be for HFC Club members only. Right. Thank you for listening. I think that's everything up to date. Now, let's have a look at the bumper tonight. Now, I'll be having a small bet in this. It's not an HFC Ireland bet. It's not strong enough to be. They've got 2 other bets on this Nace card. But it is an interesting race because it has implications for Cheltenham and beyond. Let me explain why. There's an odds-on favourite, which I'm minded to take on. The favourite is Sandor Clegane, of course, was a character in Game of Thrones, the series which had the best start and the worst end in history. Sandor Clegane, very impressive on debut, and then second of 7. Beaten 12 lengths, so absolutely walloped. But who was he second to? He was second to Facile Vega, who now is one of the many, the bankers of the Cheltenham Festival. So he got spanked, but he got spanked by potentially an extremely good horse. But 12-length loser last time at 4-6? Not for me. And the reason it wouldn't be for me is there's another horse here who was beaten last time, who I think could be on a steep improvement curve. Let me explain. Number 6, Music Drive. Now, he got beaten 4.5 lengths, so he got well beat, but he got beaten by a horse called Redemption Day, who is another extremely exciting horse. So there was no shame in that. It was 61 days ago, but the Gordon Elliott yard in the last couple of weeks has been in blitzkrieg form. Now, I've made my opinions, you know, they're no secret, so that's now is what it is. But I'm just trying to give you winners on here. And Mr. Jamie Codd, the Codfather, takes the ride on Music Drive, who I am told is absolutely flying. Now, whatever happens here, a price of 5-2 over 6-4, I would suggest that these prices should be closer together. I've no problem with Sandor Clegane being favourite, but 12-length loser, 4-6, 4-7, 8-15, no thanks. He's 6-4 on Betfair. I would say this market might contract both ways, and I think that Music Drive will be back today. Could see it going off 7-4, 15-8, which would make Sandor Clegane possibly around a 10-11 shot. So if you are playing the favourite, you know, best odds guaranteed might make him more attractive on the off, or he could be just a complete price collapse. I would suggest he's no value at 4-7, whatever happens. Music Drive is 5-2 with Bet365, 5-2 with William Hill, 5-2 with Bet Victor, as short as 2-1 with Sky Bet. which I would suggest to you is the way I would price up this race. I think Music Drive will have improved since last time. I think that form is bloody good as it stands. I think Redemption Day isn't as good as Facile Vega, but I'm not sure he'd have got beaten 12 lengths. So it's an exciting and informative race. Were Sandor Clegane to absolutely dot up here, win half the track, then you've got to think Facile Vega will be cut for the big one. If Music Drive wins well, and you're on at short prices on Facile Vega, I'm not saying you should start to throw them away, but it would just make that form, if not questionable, then maybe not as incredible as it looked. And we're in that exciting time with bumper horses and parallel form lines. But the race itself is its own entity. We'll worry about what it suggests going forward after. And I think at 5-2, Music Drive is worth a small win bet. Not an HFC Ireland bet, certainly not strong enough for that. Right, if you're not an HFC club, get yourself in. There's your order for today. We've got a hugely exciting week coming up on here. Thank you for your continued support of the channel. I do appreciate it. And I'm often getting told off because I don't ask for likes and shares and thumbs up enough, but I do think if you watch every day, you don't want to hear me say that. But in a sense, I have just said that. So if you would give us a thumbs up and like and share. I promise from now on, I'll only mention it once a week, but I won't tell you which day I'm going to do it. So you can't avoid that day. Right. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. Interesting racing today, the old game spirit at Fontwell. And then we've got some golf today, usual good football game where I've got my bet of the weekend, football-wise going. And I think it's going to be an interesting day all round. And this is the time of year, in it, let's be honest, however old we are, and I'm obviously a lot older than I look, but we go to bed at night thinking, why can't it be a fortnight on Tuesday now? But don't worry, don't wish your life away. It will be Cheltenham soon enough. But before that, let's back winners at the home of big price winners. You know what's going to happen, don't you? I'm going to introduce it and then let's just get on with it.
HOLDENS. Horses.